Greetings and welcome back to the weekly news roundup. We have survived a couple weeks of camp. It was quite good, quite busy, and we had to step up and do a few things there that I was not planning on doing when we started it all, but we did survive. I did have to take over as head of the kitchen and organize a meal plan, and we got everything that we needed to feed 60 people, including like 40 teenagers. It was kind of crazy. But we are back. We are back to the regularly scheduled program. And also for those interested in the Christian content, tonight we are starting to roll out the new studies on Malachi, the final book in the Minor Prophets. So that's rolling out live starting at 9 tonight, but you're not allowed to leave the show until we're done here. Then you can go check that one out. I really do need to change the time and place, whatever else I'm putting that live. I don't know. But anyway, that's all happening. So we'll see how far I get here before the next crazy amount of things starts to happen. But anyway, we will press on. I hope everybody had a wonderful week so far, getting ready for a wonderful weekend. My red light studio light is behaving really weird. I have a new one on order. It barely works anymore. It's sort of on, but if I look like a white vampire, that's okay. It does actually match my persona at the other camp. But anyway, we'll go ahead and press on. Of course, if you want to help support the show, you can jump on over to our website, and if you have a look at our affiliates tab, we have a list of different affiliates that we will highlight here. So all of these, I think most of these are still active ones. If you are interested in helping support the site, jump on over here. We do have a statement on affiliates. Some people will just throw, they'll throw any affiliate in that'll possibly give them money. I really only use the companies that I have used, have support, and think are actually worth it. And I do evaluate those from time to time. If you've been with the channel for a while, you know I took some VPN servers off as they were bought and sold among different people and things like that. So, of course, you can help support us on all of our various other channels. We have Subscribestar, Locals, and Patreon as well. So you can help support the channel over there. And today we are going to start in with our discussion, and we are going to be talking a little bit about the age verification stuff. Now, I'll say it's always a big question. We're not going to cover the Visa, MasterCard stuff with Steam. A, every gamer has already covered it from here to Kingdom Come. B, it does drop us perilously close to NSFW, and I like keeping this channel family friendly. So we're not going to cover any of that stuff there, but we do want to talk a little bit about the fallout of the age verification, which, of course, the age verification is a law in the UK, which is rolling into effect now. Of course, as soon as this happened, VPN numbers just completely shot absolutely through the roof. Because people are like, I don't want to show my ID to go on social media sites. Okay, this wasn't just going on to bad sites on the internet, that many people should probably rethink their life choices if they're going there anyway. This is pretty much anything on the internet that has any form of interaction. We must verify your age, and more like verify your identity. And as soon as the UK Online Safety Act comes into effect, immediately the VPN usage went up 20-fold. Now they do realize that they're going to start looking like more like a dystopian hellhole if they start trying to ban VPNs. So they're coming out like, come on, man, don't be using your VPNs. You should verify your age to keep everybody safe. Guys, the people who are not going to keep them safe are still on the internet, and they're bypassing all your protocols, all right? This is doing nothing. But what ended up happening is a lot of people don't want to mess with this, so VPN traffic went up 1,327%. Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it? If you try and geo-restrict a location, they just use a VPN and go to a different location. Why not, right? So the Online Safety Act forces a variety of websites to verify users' age, ensuring they're over 18. And it's not just the bad sites. It is social media, gaming, even some search engines in many instances. They want to make sure that you're that. I mean, you know, some of these search engines could return some fairly risque things way back early in the channel, almost a good decade ago. This is the reason I don't do random searches on the screen anymore. But we were testing out different search engines. And I think one of them was Cerex, which does not do filtering. There I am searching for something benign, and there's all these risque photos showing up. Like, I had to take that stream down. so I can understand where they're getting at, but at the same time, it's like gun control in the United States. All you're going to do is disarm the lawful people. Okay, the people who are out there to engage in breaking the rules, oh yes, I'm going to go ahead and show my ID while I go on here and intend to break your rules. Yeah, no, not really, not really. And so that really is the thing we're looking at here. So, but in response to this, of course, all sorts of other weird stuff is popping up. The EU age verification app to ban Android apps not licensed by Google. This is an interesting one that makes me question and puzzle what in the world they're doing. Because, of course, we're in the middle right now of all these antitrust cases, which is funny because you found Google guilty of monopoly behavior, but Apple not guilty of monopoly behavior, despite Apple forces you to install all apps through the iStore, Apple's iPhone store, App Store, and Google allows you to load apps from literally anywhere and everywhere. We need to get competent judges who understand maybe something about technology before we continue to dive on into this. So these are some of these weird issues. But part of this is funny because this is the same country that is going through some of these things like you can't be a monopoly, you have to have user choice, blah, 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 blah. And now they do not want you to run apps on your phone that are not verified by the Google App Store. Yeah, the attestation. Now, there's some back and forth in this one. I haven't read everything. I am still a little behind on the news, FYI. I may not be as prepared as I usually am just from all of the craziness in the last couple weeks. But some of these suggest that every single phone on your app must pass the attestation test in order to view some of these things. I haven't read all of the details, but this is also something that is still inside of negotiation. So we don't know what's going to go on. But under the current proposal, in testing the age verification, this is going to require the Android app authentication check. This is the same thing that Graphene called out for basically saying that, hey, you're going to lock Graphene users out despite we have another means of verifying apps because the Graphene OS has the ability to lock your phone's bootloader. And that really was the concern, that banking apps particularly did not want to risk a rooted phone introducing insecurity, as if the bank apps themselves are the bastion of security. But hey, they can pretend anyway. And Graphene OS comes out and says, our phone's not rooted. We have a locked bootloader. Everything is verified. And I think they did successfully solve this. But the problem is that the Android app authentication check requires you to run Google Play services on your phone. And so you are literally forcing everybody in the EU to use a proprietary Google product from the Google Corporation in order to do anything with your phone. That makes about as much sense as, I don't know, vegetarian wolf or something. I don't know. But anyway, I'm just trying to make something up on the tip of my tongue there. Since the new system of EU's age verification relies on Google Play integrity for the Android app verification, the app must be licensed by Google and downloaded from the Play Store. This will be a concern for any custom ROM users. And I did this. I established a Proton Mail account for the things I need to be doing with the camps for organization going forward. I'm like, well, I want to separate that, but I don't want to use my own servers in the event there's bounces and things like that. And so I'm using that, and Proton Mail has an app And of course, their website links to the Google Play Store. Well, I'm not using the Google Play Store or anything Google, and I don't have any Google Play services on my phone, but they also give you the ability to simply download the APK from their GitHub page. And so that's what I did. So I installed the Proton Mail app on my phone, utilizing the side-loaded APK directly from their GitHub page. And so that type of thing would fail the attestation test. So they're basically forcing people into the monopoly of using Google in order to do this, which is just like baffles the brain. Now we have, of course, get into the other one, because right was UK, and now even right now, YouTube, starting on the 15th, that would be next week, YouTube is starting to roll out AI age checks, which basically is going to turn into a whole lot of false positives. Pretty much YouTube bots going to roll around and declare that everybody, like those of us with big graying beards are going to be like, I think that you're a minor. I know you've had your YouTube account established for a decade and you appear to be an old fat dude with a graying beard, but I think the AI thinks you're young, and so would you mind giving us your ID? Well, we got a couple of fun examples for why not to give your ID to these websites. This is kind of interesting, right? So, of course, what came out as a big controversy right in the middle of camp the first time around, so I caught almost nothing about it. I caught the Cliff Notes version. Basically, this is an app that allowed a bunch of ladies to get online and gossip. What else is new? And in so doing, they were throwing up things that were like, not necessarily vettable, but the app required them to upload photo IDs and selfies for verification, and people found that they had practically no security, and those IDs were kept around, even though the app's like, oh yeah, we will delete those IDs within 24 hours. And it turned out not being the case. People were able to go on there and grab all of those IDs. So a new app comes out called T on Her. So now a bunch of guys are getting around and gossiping, because yes, this is 2025 and guys can take on those traits too. And so now they have their own app, which is just as insecure. It might even be the same code. I don't even know. But this app here, after this whole giant thing about T on Her, or T comes out, completely insecure, T on Her now releases, and it has the same problems. People can go in there and steal your information and your government IDs and your selfies and everything else. And hey, bonus, it would appear that the developer for this particular app has even left a plain text password for the whole administrative system. Bonus! We're even less secure than the other one, because, we just drove as fast as possible to get it out. Well, this is the downside of being forced to constantly be giving your IDs up to everything under the sun. Now, to be clear, in doing at least the way YouTube's doing it, you can also use a credit card or things like that. So, if the AI decides that me and my fat body and my graying beard might be a minor, it's like, maybe I'll give them ping my Discover card for a few cents. All right. Yeah, that's okay. Fine. Why not? And a lot of people aren't saying that part, that you can do with that. Of course, they're like, well, we just don't know. That could have been a card not from there, but I don't know. Maybe we'd kind of like your ID or your selfie anywhere. I got 2,000 videos, YouTube. Pick one on my channel. I'm an old fat dude, okay? I'm not some anime avatar like Teraffitin over there that I suspect could be a minor. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, it's going to be rolling out, and it's kind of sketch when every website in the world now wants you to upload your ID. Somebody actually in the comments here on YouTube's like, I may not be on the interwebs much anymore if every single site requires me to do this. And I kind of agree with that. Oh, actually, we had some information. I didn't know I had an article on the YouTube one up here too. But yeah, the AI age verification is coming soon. The AI is going to assess whether, depending on what's in there. And I got to say, I watch entirely too much 80s TV to be considered a kid. I don't know. I don't know. I think I've seen like every People's Court or something. Does anybody under the age of 30 watch that? I don't know. I think it's fun. I don't know about other people, but so it will, if it thinks you're under 18 for whatever reason, false positives, whatever else, it's going to disable a personalized advertising. Bonus, I may not challenge it. I don't know. Turning on digital well-being tools. and adding safeguards to recommendations, I guess forcing me down Elsa Gate. I will actually, whereas everything in my YouTube algorithm right now is perfectly sanitized, it's going to force me to watch like Spider-Man and Elsa doing uncouth acts. I don't know. But whatever, because YouTube's weird like that. It's like, hey, we think you're a kid. Would you like to watch this perverted stuff with cartoon characters? I don't know, man. Keep your kids away from YouTube, folks. That's the best thing to do. Keep your kids away from YouTube unless you're like sitting there with them and verifying that you're doing something proper. So that's really what we want to get into. Now, our second one we want to talk about. So right here, we'll jump over into our second main headline article is we have this giant race for AI going on. And the race for AI is, it is doing bad things. In my opinion, the race for AI is really messing up a lot of our world. It's to this point where we're rushing so hard into something, we are not stopping and thinking about what the potential consequences could be. And so having a look at just a couple of articles here from this is the CEO magazine. All right. So the race for generative AI. Now, oh my Lord. Let me try and reload this page again. Okay, so it's not loading in my highlights. This page is weird. You land on it, it's like, which language you like? What language do you think I want? Chinese? That was literally an option. And then I must have selected the local instead of the global, and so it didn't give me my my highlights. Let me reload it again, see if I can do that now. I don't know. Anyway, so in this article, they really are talking about the race for generative AI. So this is a third AI. Of course, I talked in my video yesterday about the two basic types of AI we're hearing right now. LLMs, large language models, basically mosaic plagiarism, feed as much data into it as possible. You're asked questions and the thing is just going to make up a bunch of stuff based on data sets available and give it to you. And of course, since it's programmed to want to give you an answer and I don't know is not an answer, it will then hallucinate, usually in the negative, because it's based on the sinful natures of human beings. So, AI always tends to hallucinate that you engage yourself in some type of illegal content, rather than AI never seems to hallucinate and accuse you of building a children's orphanage or something like that, But that's LLMs. The next one that we're hearing a lot more about right now is agentic AI. This is what's being forced out. Windows is trying to make Windows an agentic AI system. We talked about that yesterday. The Comet browser from the evil corporation Perplexity is rolling out, and this is designed as an agentic browser, which you're supposed to be able to assign it tasks, and it utilizes everything it knows about you and your credit cards, whatever else, and it goes online and purchases things probably from fake pharmaceutical companies we'll talk about in the QuickLines section. But then this is a third AI. This is the generative AI, the AI that is allegedly going to be like the creative human process. It's the one that can basically do anything and everything. Generative AI is basically Skynet. It's here to kill us all. And we're not stopping to slow down to see if we should. We are just rushing headlong, creating Jurassic Park just to see if we could. All right. And that's really the problem. So as the agentic AI races on, we're seeing so many different companies trying to stay on top. Right now, Elon Musk just recently said, I think it was in a Tesla shareholders meeting, basically saying, hey, Tesla's fine. I like Tesla. It's like my favorite thing. But if we beat the world to agentic AI, nothing else is going to matter. How wonderful. And then, of course, we get Perplexity is doing illegal things we'll kind of get to in a minute, at least things that should get the company shut down. And then we have basically, of course, there's the race for China. In some places, China is ahead. Is this the article talked a little bit about China? I can't remember. And my highlights have disappeared. So I can't remember which one was which, but China has some compelling things because they were able to get a lot of the AI systems done better because for one thing is they have a lot more infrastructure for power than we do. We are going to run our country out of power if we do not slow down. China doesn't have that problem because they just throw up another coal plant and they don't have an EPA to stop them from doing so. And so all of this nonsense about we're going to save the world, when China and India are under control with pollution, we can talk about it on our own merits. All right. But this is what we see with the AI. There's this push into it. So here is actually some commentary from Elon Musk, and I think some Peter Thiel might be in here as well. Yeah, Peter Thiel, 2 weeks ago, Peter Thiel struggled to answer whether he would prefer the human race to endure. Oh, multi-billionaire guy who has your fingers in all of these big tech corporations like Palantir and other evil things. Would you prefer the human race to endure? Yeah, I just don't know. I mean, I got my billions of dollars. I'm a buddy of Mark Zuckerberg. I can borrow his doomsday bunker on the Hawaiian Islands. So I don't really care. I got my billions. You know, I don't know. See, these people should not be making decisions in these things. Elon Musk said the notion that humans once managed an economy will seem quaint in the future. Oh, how quaint. It's like cavemen throwing sticks into a fire in retrospect. How wonderful. These guys have these wonderful perspectives. And where did the rest of my highlights go? My lordies. Because I had a ton more highlights in here I wanted to cover. But basically, as Elon Musk comes down, he basically says that he believes that the AI is going to be an ultimate good because all these guys are altruistic idiots. They seem to think that we are blank human slates that lend towards the positive and we're just trying to solve the human problems. Get over it, guys. Modernism is dead. Okay, that was the philosophy of modernism in the 1900s. Okay, modernism, 1900s philosophies of modernism. We as a human race can solve all of our problems. We just need the better technology. It didn't work. We can push out enough food for everybody, but a bunch of greedy guys like Peter Thiel, Mark Zuckerberg, and Elon Musk want to sit there and say, yeah, we got billions of Twinkies. It's like what the government does with the farms. We dump millions of gallons of milk down the drain to regulate the prices rather than feed it to the poor. I'm not a communist here, guys. I'm just pointing out some interesting inconsistencies. We are not, as a nature, inherently good. We are, as a nature, inherently evil people. This is why Thoreau wrote that our improved technology gives us an improved means to reach our deteriorating ends. This is what always happens. We release a grand new, this AI is going to solve the world's problems. And then the next thing around, the scammers are much more effective at scamming. How wonderful is that? But he says in here, well, you know, and this is it. Will this be good or bad for humanity? Must ask before predicting. It would be most likely it would be good. Most likely the AI is going to be good. Yes, the AI, you know, Mecha Hitler. This is the guy who came up with Mecha Hitler. Okay, Grok 4 went crazy. Now they're going to put ads in Grok 4, by the way. Is it going to offer you to sell you some showers? Maybe some power that smells oddly like almonds? It's basically good, huh? Yeah, just Mecha Hitler. Why not? And then, of course, he does say later on, but somewhere I reconciled myself that the fact that even if it wasn't going to be good, at least I'd like to be alive to see it happen. Yeah, we all live to live in the times of the Terminator when the robots come in and take us over. Isn't that wonderful? But we are all moving in such this direction. Like, these companies are moving so fast. They're skirting laws. One of the things in, I don't know if this one passed or not, but one of the bills that Trump was trying to do would basically forbid states to have regulation against AI. Like, we can't regulate AI. It'll slow us down and then China will win. Okay. So we have that going for us on one hand. On the other hand, we're also trying to say we need to suspend copyright laws so the AI can get all the training it needs. So, you know, cut out all these people out of the loops. That's for sure. But then we have companies like Perplexity. Perplexity is not honoring websites that say, yeah, I just don't want AI bots crawling over here. Now, OpenAI, they honor it. If you tell OpenAI, do not scrape our website, OpenAI says, okay, all right, we won't scrape this one. Perplexity's like, so it goes down. And of course, since you can do traffic analysis and look at what bots are there, if Perplexity sees that you're blocking Perplexity, it says, okay, and then it comes back with an anonymous bot and scrapes it anyway. So Cloudflare had a wonderful scientific experiment to do that. Why are none of my things are showing up? Interesting. So yeah, once again, I had this one super highlighted to highlight some things. All right, so what they did here is they went ahead and they were discovering that Perplexity seemed to be indexing sites that people have explicitly said that they should not be indexing. So what they ended up doing is they bought a couple of domains that were never indexed at all, and then they put in your basic robots.txt and declaring that Perplexity specifically as a user agent was not allowed to scrape the site. And then they started querying Perplexity's AI about the websites, and lo and behold, Perplexity knew everything about what was on the websites. So they were still scraping it, and what they found is that if you didn't have anything blocking Perplexity, then they declared it as this user agent, and you'd see it's a Perplexity AI, Perplexity user bot. But if you happen to block it, they came back with a stealth kit just coming in and showing themselves up as a Safari browser browsing your website. So they were literally hiding their approach. So their crawler attempts access. If they are declined, then what happens is they are going back and then they're checking for firewall rules. If these are all blocked, they're coming back in with anonymous bots in order to scrape the content anyway. This is the very same stuff that scammers do. This is the same stuff that spammers do. This is the stuff that should cause the government to come down, shut them down, seize their assets, seize the domain, put up the FBI, seize this domain for doing illegal things. You should take every public director, toss them in prison for a while, and give their assets to the people whose sites that they have illegally scraped. Okay, that's the point. That's what you should be doing with this stuff. Because I am absolutely sick and tired of these AI companies running roughshod over everything. Now, if you've caught this channel for the first time, like, who is this crazy liberal psychopath? I'm not liberal. I'm conservative. I just have a functioning brain. Okay, the one thing that the Conservative Party is totally wrong on is technology. They've got no clue. It's hilarious how stupid they are when it comes to tech. All right, we cannot allow a company like Perplexity give them unfettered access, ignore our requests, and start scraping stuff for their own profit. That is things criminals do, and you need to treat them as such. OpenAI, not a fan of it, but at least it's respecting user agents. But Perplexity is allowed to get away with this. Every other AI company is going to jump on and say, well, Perplexity's doing it. They're getting a leg up. They're going to be as to generative AI. We must go ahead and do the same. That is why Perplexity has got to be stopped. Don't use their services. Cancel it if you are. Stop using Perplexity. They are behaving the same way as those Indian phone scammers that are trying to steal your grandmother's life savings. That is exactly what is going on. That is exactly what is going on. So there is our fun foray into AI and generative stuff. Wow, we finished that section a little bit earlier than I thought. We're going to go ahead and chat comments for just a few minutes, and then we will jump on into our quick lines. So thanks for watching, everybody. Arthur Thing, greetings. I'll probably stop using the interwebs. This is the comment I saw earlier there. Stop using it soon. The way they're running it between the AI crap and the fact that you can't find anything with a search engine, not worth it. No one is early. Greetings. Hello, Banhammer. The Anchorage is here with the Hammer of Thor. Mr. Snipe, hello, world to you. Night of Light, greetings to you. Silver Adventures, hello to you. Got a handful of old D&D games via Humble Bundle, though they had an issue as of trying to get some payment processing or logging in, get stuck on the wheel. XGUI 4 Studio. Amazon is not ethical, I think he means. Yeah, we'll talk about that in our quick lines, actually. 1984, folks, you need an ID to surf the web. That's right. Oh, there you go. Yep, ethical, indeed. Decided to start reading dystopian books to get ready. I got 1984, Brand New World, Fahrenheit. Any other recommendation? Oh, I don't know. Like, if you're into the movies, I love V for Vendetta. That's an excellent one along those threads. Other fun dystopian movie ones. I really like the Hunger Games series. That really is a good dystopian future type thing. As far as those, I got to read Fahrenheit 451 again. I haven't read that one in a while. Also saw forums about hamster care got geo-blocked because they did not want to have to deal with this. 1984. Yeah, 1984 is a good read. People have been suing Gmod and Death Stranding to get around face scans. Yeah, I saw that. I might have to pick up that game. Yeah. Anyone that uses AI to think for them should give their brain back to the Lord Jesus Christ. Amen to that. Unseen Hand is a great book. Okay. I gotta figure out how to get rid of all these, all this XP garbage. All right. Let's see. So use my brain. Let's see. Yes, bro. Pearson, excellent book. Let's see. I'm gonna use AI to learn, not make programs. My coding skills. It's a great teacher. This YouTube chatbot thing may not want to get into this stream. May be tempted to ban it. Yeah, I think you need to ban the XP thing too. It's really annoying. Rumble and Odyssey are going to be loving all this. Yeah, at least the T apps have something in common. There's a YouTube chat bot amongst us brothers. Is like YouTube Mando moderating thing now. I don't know. Is there? I don't know. Yeah, the ban hammer will go after the YouTube bot. As something. I have no idea. I'm hearing that censorship is backfiring a UK Prime Minister. Yeah, I believe it is. That's that thing like Oprah pounces on a Big Mac when the cameras are off. That's right. Whilst everyone is racing for the best AI, we should be working on learning as much as we can. Yes. Eventually, they will become idiots when the AI is turned off and when Jesus returns. Amen. Yeah. I believe that the AI is going to be part of the beast technology. That will be a thing. I think that feeding the AI is akin to feeding the great beast. Scares me YouTube AI. Let's see. Well, think I'm a kid. Sad, yeah. If you rely on it for critical thinking, yes, AI will make one dumb. But if you use it as you're learning a tool, it actually has great advantages. Yes, you can use it. You can use it properly in some ways. It's just most people don't do that. In the UK now, there's a whole town that's solar powered only and feeding excess back onto the grid. That's just in the UK. Yeah. Nobody believes me. 3 years ago, I made my own McFish server for making website templates for my clients. Well, there you go. Okay. The best advice I can give anyone is to read the Word of God daily. Read and pray twice a day. Amen to that. That is some excellent advice. I'm atheist and won't read religious stuff. All right. Well, you're lost. Let's see. All right. Now we're getting into a fight over here. All right. My friend, you lost in your rebellion against God and his friend. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, that would be my my advice as well, you know. Is to, there is no other hope outside of Christ. That's it. That's true. All right. At this point, it's proven scraping it appropriately. It should be fair game for others to scrape their weights and proprietary stuff. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there we go. We just get in there and get all their stuff. There you go. I've gotten kind of sick of this dystopian sci-fi. I miss the optimistic, bright future sci-fi Star Trek used to give us. There you go. Yeah, Star Trek had everything right except the condition of the human heart. Yep, there you go. All right, let me check out over here. Oh, well, I have it. Hey, I explicitly charged my my graphene tablet just so I could check my comments over here on Matrix. So let's see what we got here. Yeah, I'll give my ID and you'll be happy. There you go. I think YouTube is digging its own grave. The login to verify you're not a bot crap is annoying. Yeah, that's true. I mean, you know, sometimes I still have YouTube blocked on my phone, and you know, if I need to just like access just some quick tutorial video or something on the phone, I have to use Tor. It's like, you got to log in to prove you're not a bot. It's like, never mind. Not worth it. All right, not a whole lot going over there. Let's see what we got over here on Odyssey. 9 currently watching on Odyssey. How many currently watching on the Tubies? 58 currently watching on the Tubies. 9 over here. Got Ivan's over there. Honestly, people need to be stopped from accessing bad stuff or other degenerating trash. I mean, see, a person should not access those things. It is bad for them. However, That is something that you need to control on your own end. You do not create dystopian nightmares in order to stop somebody from accessing something that their own free will needs the control to do. And honestly, yeah, some of those things are bad. We need to have some basic blocks, basic controls. But to be honest, a parent has the tools capable at their disposal if they choose to use and learn about them in order to block such things for their family. And they should do it. They should take the time to do that. So I'm not interested in creating a world of 1984 to stop people who have chosen to engage in degeneracy, because if I do everything I can to block you from your degeneracy, you will find ways to find more degeneracy. What I need to do is preach to you the gospel to transform your heart instead. That is it. Daughter of Hildar is a filthy, godless heathen, yet I still have common sense. Amen. Let's see. Dearly hope people migrate off YouTube onto here. Yeah, Odyssey could use the growth. Yes, Odyssey is not bad. We are also co-streaming over on Rumble. We got 19 watching on Rumble right now. Thank you, guys. Dan Kelly's on over here. Emilio, greetings to you. Hello, hello. Don't want to give up any ID to watch the graybeard guy that doesn't want to give up his ID. That's right. Let's figure this out. How can we still access our stuff without giving up our government IDs? All right. Love you, man. Absolutely. You too, man. All right. Read Revelation 6:16. Do not be one of them. Freedom is essential. I agree. That sign in all time. Check your age is getting old. There you go. Yes. Yeah, I know. Right. You can't buy cigarettes unless you were born this age. And what is it now? It's got to be into like oh my Lord. Okay. I'm so old. I had already graduated from college when those signs. Yeah, the gray beard is true. All right, we are going to jump on back over into our quick lines. So starting in on our quick lines, first, the AUR is under fire once more. If you are unfamiliar, the AUR is the Arch User Repository. It is a place that anybody and their brother can throw whatever types of packages onto Linux that they want, specifically onto Arch Linux, and specifically if you use the AUR. Now, I stopped using the AUR on my Arch systems. I'm just like, you know what? Flatpak covers most needs that are not in the basic community packages, the ones that are vetted by the team. And so I will use Flatpaks. If it's not in the basic repository, I am done with the AUR. So I've removed everything from the AUR. I'm done with it. So, of course, what happened here is somebody released, they basically created an account and within an hour uploaded Google Chrome Stable, which does run Google Chrome Stable, but it also has another script that runs a rat on your system. So rat is a remote access Trojan. So running this every single time you boot this up, it runs a script that runs the Trojan. It basically goes online, grabs the Trojan and runs it in memory. And so the AUR team caught it very quickly. They did take it down, but there are a few people that have downloaded it. And so this person had just created their account a very short period of time, uploaded Google Chrome Stable. And so anybody searching for Google Chrome Stable on the Arch user repository would have downloaded a piece of malware. Now, of course, I will note that you can download Google Chrome on the Flatpak. While it is an unverified app, it is put together by an actual member on the Google Chrome team. So it is safe. That is one of the limitations of Flatpak's verification badge system. But if you do want to use Chrome on Arch, you can do it. Run a Flatpak. Don't run the AUR. There is an actual AUR version that is correct, but it gets muddled. So just be aware of that. If you're using Arch, be very careful about using the Arch user repository. There is some crazy stuff. All right, yet another one. Like I said, guys, I voted for Trump, and I agree with a lot of what Trump is doing, but when it comes down to the technology end of things, he's an incompetent buffoon. Okay, I will agree with the left. Trump is incompetent when it comes to tech. All right, so this one here is good. He wants you to be able to take all of that data that you're using and upload it to a central place so that everybody can go ahead and access that data for anything and everything that they want. All right. So Donald Trump announced a loose plan Wednesday to allow Americans to voluntarily upload and port their medical records across hospitals, clinics, technology companies, and health apps with a broad participation from Google, Apple, OpenAI, Amazon, and more. And so some privacy experts have warned that the data's segmentation is, in fact, paramount to its privacy. So by separating all these out, it's the only form of privacy we have. So they say here that there are few privacy safeguards. Medical records and our personal and intimate health records might be shared with insurers, businesses, ICE, and law enforcement. All right. That's a concern. Yeah, we don't want, primarily I'm concerned about the businesses that want to use that for anything and everything. So Trump says being able to more easily share this data is a boon to Americans who want to, say, directly hand their personal app health data to their doctor or approve certain weight loss providers like Noom to obtain access to their medical records. I don't want. Now, I looked up Noom is like a dieting app. You install the Noom app on your phone, and then, it can, if you give it access to medical information about you, then it can tell you how to eat right. Guys, you do not need an app for that. Okay. Here's a very simple process to eat right. Don't eat things which are processed food with a barcode on it. If you eat like meats and fruits and things like that, stuff that without barcodes, you tend to eat a lot healthier. If you are like the poor people that have just discovered today that due to changes in the SNAP program, you can no longer buy Reese's peanut butter cups on SNAP. Congratulations. You see, that's something I agree with the administration on. They should not be buying empty calories with the food that is called the Supplemental Nutrition Program. Okay. So we shouldn't be feeding them stuff that makes them fat and gives them calories, but no nutrition. We should be giving them nutrition. But to give all of this information to a healthcare company, to every healthcare company, because your Apple Watch tracked it, I don't know. So this highlighted in red is my favorite part. A total of 60 companies have signed on to the effort, ranging from traditional healthcare insurers such as United Health to artificial intelligence developers such as Anthropic and OpenAI. You don't mean that a whole bunch of companies that focus on collecting every possible bit of data they possibly can to sell and market and send you ads to every nth degree, they all want you to upload your health data? Like your health insurance companies, they want you to upload all your health data, everything your watch is doing, everything? Guys, this is 1984! No, thank you. No, thank you. So now if you have your medical records, you can get personalized advice. It allows you to get better health advice about a better alternative. Okay, if you're using Snap to buy Reese's peanut butter cups, put the Reese's peanut butter cups down and buy a pack of oranges instead. Okay? Simple. You do not need to share your health data with 60 different tech companies that are going to share it amongst themselves. Hey, do you have that crazy SwitchedTolinux BMI? Hold on, I think I do. Yeah, he's kind of a fat guy. I got a picture once of him next to a tree. We were able to proximize the tree and capture his BMI. Great, I need that BMI. He's asking for a health insurance quote. I think I just need to get that BMI so I can, jack up the rate a little bit more if it's a little too high. Oh, it's low. Oh, I don't know. Maybe don't give me that. I'm just going to assume it's high. No, thank you. No, thank you. I will keep my health data as far away from every type of computer system conceivably possible. Thank you. All right, on to scams. An Apple ID scam leads to a $27,000 in-person theft in Ohio, man. And I am just wondering why. So this guy receives, of course, we've all received the texts. The text tells you your Apple ID has been compromised. Your Apple ID, it has been used in an Apple store for a $213 purchase, the text message said. Here's actually a picture of the text message. And they're like, hey, if this is not you, call this number really quick. Oh, I got to call the number. So he calls the number on the phone. The man identifies himself as John Cooper. Probably, this is John Cooper. Yeah, I'm sure you are. Sure, you're John Cooper. He said the thieves racked up a total of $27,000 of charges in his name. Unless Wise withdrew $27,000 from his account immediately, it would be drained, the man said. Okay, so The guy says $27,000 were charged in his name. So now you have to withdraw the money out of your account. Okay, great. Okay, I ran to the bank. I got my $27,000. Like, how do you get that so quick? Anyway, as you've probably already guessed, there had been no $27,000 theft, at least not yet. According to a local news report, the man on the other end of the line tried to get Wise to deposit the money into a Bitcoin machine to send in the funds. So, okay, so you call the number. They say somebody tried to charge $27,000. You need to withdraw the money immediately. I really want to know what this guy said to make Wise, who's not very wise, think he needed to send this guy on the phone the $27,000. I have no earthly idea how A goes to B. You need to go take out money out of the bank so that these guys don't steal your money. Great, I have my money. Now what do I do with my money? Give it to me. Okay, how do I do that? Yikes. Yikes. All right, so this is where 42-year-old Liwi Zhang turns up at the victim's door and Wise handed him the $42,000. 42, 47. 27. He hands him the $27,000. This is a random Chinese dude who's in the country on a business visa. Does anybody mind if we revoke his visa and deport him either back to China or El Salvador? Okay? This guy is in this country on a business visa, driving to people's houses, picking up $27,000 in cash for an internet scammer. Does anybody mind if we revoke his visa and deport him immediately? Okay? Let's do this. Sheriff told Wise to keep the criminal engaged. They already got the $27,000. Now the guy's like, hey, you need more, man. These guys are still on your account. You need to withdraw more and give more to my guy. My dude's coming to get more money. So he calls the sheriff. He finally got Wise. And he calls the sheriff. The sheriff's like, hey, keep the guy engaged. The sheriff drives by and catches the thief at the scene. He's a Chinese national in the country on a business visa. He tells law enforcement officers he's just a middleman. And I don't understand this quote. Quote, felt that he was doing this revolving criminal activity, end quote. Okay, so a Chinese national is in our country on a business visa and thinks that he's doing revolving criminal activity. Are we allowed to deport him now? Or do we have to arrest him and drop all charges 16 times? I mean, send him up to Kenosha, Wisconsin. I hear from Code Blue Cam up there, literally everybody up there just gets released on a signature bond or something. I don't know. So Liu, who is in the U.S., had targeted multiple... Oh, by the way, the original scammer is a Canadian guy named Ji Hua Liu. He was in the U.S., had targeted multiple elderly victims with scams, turned up to their homes to collect money. He collected $300,000. Okay, last year, this guy down in Florida was collecting gold bars from people in Florida, which, of course, he was told he had to pay him to free himself from arrest warrants, which, of course, were fake. And I did love this comment down here. Never send money to a stranger or give them money in person. No legitimate organization should be asking for cash at the door unless they're wearing Girl Scout vests and come bearing cookies. If you're spending $27,000 on Girl Scout cookies, you have bigger problems. Well, at least you're not buying Reese's peanut butter cups on Snap, I guess. Unfortunately, many elderly victims are more vulnerable to scams, the data shows, and may not heed such advice, so we have to check up on them regularly. How wonderful. All right, this is a good one here. So remember all of that SharePoint breach that caused havoc all over the place, even breached the nuclear programs in the United States? Yeah, it was all being maintained by Chinese engineers for Microsoft. I will point out that distribution that was running around a couple months ago, that everybody's like, this is the best Windows alternative. Arduino OS is actually written by Microsoft. Guys, that was another Microsoft Chinese engineer. I wonder if they were working on the same team. Are you comfortable about using Arduino OS yet? So yes, they had outsourced the entire team of SharePoint to an engineering firm in China. They used an engineering firm based in China to support SharePoint before the vulnerabilities were patched. Microsoft did not put out the patches for the vulnerabilities that were made until July. They were aware of the patches as early, I think it was in January. They waited like 6 months, 3 to 6 months to get them out. Okay, so a whole lot of breaches occurred, and Microsoft identified at least 3 threat groups affiliated with China that have been exploiting publicly known SharePoint vulnerabilities. Wonderful. It's possible Microsoft increased the risk of SharePoint vulnerabilities being exploited by bad actors in China by putting its maintenance in the hands of engineers in the country for multiple years. And China has a number of laws that allows authorities to request access to any data that people are working on. Very interesting. Now, the separate problem here, a separate investigation by the publication found, Tech Republic, found that Microsoft has been relying on workers based in China for a decade who maintain cloud systems of federal departments, but the U.S. workers often don't have the technical expertise to police them properly. So Microsoft is handing over sensitive cloud infrastructure data to Chinese engineers on the oversight of U.S. workers who do not understand the work that Chinese engineers are doing. And Microsoft wonders why I have a problem with anything they do. So there is more information about the SharePoint breach. How wonderful. All right, unexpected snail mail packages are now being sent with scammy QR codes to get you infected with malware. Isn't that wonderful? FBI has warned the public about unsolicited packages containing a QR code, which leads to websites aimed at stealing personal data and downloading malware onto the victim's device. Now, a lot of your phones have an automatic QR code scanner. You scan it, and it immediately goes to the page full of, whatever they're downloading or displaying. Graphene OS's default built-in camera, you can scan any QR code with it, but before it goes anywhere, it shows you where it's trying to go. That's actually a useful step. So make sure any QR code scanner you're using does that. But here's a thought. If you have a mysterious random package showing up at your door with nothing but a QR code on it, probably don't scan the QR code. That should go without saying. But in our crazy world, I guess things need to be said more often than not, I guess. I don't know. This is a variant of what's called the brushing scam. Vendors send packages containing merchandise to unsuspecting recipients, then use the recipient's information to post positive reviews about their products or businesses. It's all a review scam. This case, it's a review scam combined with, hey, let's install a Trojan on your device. So we reported in our Tap Swipe Scam mobile scam report, 66% of people have scanned a QR code to purchase something, with legitimate business employees employing the use of QR codes. It's something people are becoming very used to doing. And that's kind of, we're being trained to use these types of things, and then we just don't even think about the potential consequences. All right, millions at risk as global network of over 5,000 fake pharmacy websites uncovered by security researchers. This is the article I was referencing when we talked about in our video yesterday and earlier today about the agentic AI going on the internet doing tasks for you. Well, right now, scammers are putting up thousands of fake pharmacy websites that are proposing to sell you drugs. Some of those are counterfeit. Some of those could be legitimate. But they're all there. They are collecting payment information from you. They are collecting your prescription information. You have to upload medical records to these companies to, make sure you can successfully get these pharmacy items. And so there's 5,000 fake pharmacy websites secretly harvesting data while pushing counterfeit pharmaceuticals. Global network, 5,000 pharmacy websites have been uncovered. Designed to mimic legitimate pharmaceutical retailers, the platforms sell counterfeit or unregulated medications while harvesting sensitive personal information and financial data. You got to be careful, because if you're looking around, in fact, I was looking around for places. I'm right now, I'm printing out all of the postcards that go out to all of our kids at camp. And so, I created everything. I'm like, okay, where do I get these guys printed? I'm looking around, who has the better options? Like, there's all these different places. I'm just like, let's just go like Vistaprint, because they've been in business for many, many years. Okay. They're Canadian. I had to enter a customs address. That's what I have an LLC registered agent company for, I guess. So the sites often use AI generated health articles, falsified reviews, and misleading ads to gain visibility and credibility. Danger is not limited to the quality of pharmaceuticals sold. These websites often prompt users to enter private medical details, upload documents, or provide payment information, all of which can be exploited in secondary fraud campaigns. How wonderful. So be careful when you're scouring the internet looking for the best deal. Maybe the best deal is with a reputable company that already has your data. This is why I just generally don't buy stuff on the internet unless it's on like Amazon or something. Why? As the devil already has my details. All right. AI LLMs are now so clever, they can independently plan and execute cyber attacks without human intervention. Oh, joy. Wonderful. Oh, boy. AI model replicated the Equihacks breach without a single human command. Yes, they just deployed a couple systems on here. The AI is getting creepy. Of course, this is the 2017 Equihacks breach, where the company that has every American's information without their specific consent, and they chose to not upgrade a known Apache vulnerability, and hackers got in there. Yeah, the AI duplicated this by utilizing a series of sub-agents. AI not only planned the attack, but also deployed malware and extracted data, all without direct human commands. How wonderful. The system relied on a higher level structure where the LM acted as a planner while delegating lower level actions to sub-agents. This abstraction gave the AI enough context to understand and adapt to its environment. Very frightening stuff. So now the LLMs can come out and come after us. Joy. And AI chatbots have become popular alternatives to therapy, but they may worsen your mental health. Yes, this is because they are crazy narcissists who affirm everything inside of your head. Yeah, users may be led down conspiracy theory rabbit holes or into emotional harm by chatbots designed to maximize engagement and affirmation. So 2023, Belgian man, and we reported on this in detail a couple weeks ago. In 2023, a Belgian man reportedly ended his life after developing a eco-anxiety and confiding in the AI chatbot over 6 weeks about the future of the planet. So basically, the chatbot turned into Captain Planet and convinced him that, basically endowed on him the spirit of Greta Thunberg. How dare you? And just happened to believe that we're just completely destroying the planet. We're all going to die soon anyway. So I'm just going to go ahead and expedite the process, apparently. So in April of this year, a 35-year-old Florida man was, he engaged in self-deletory actions by the local PD. In another chatbot-related incident, his father later told media that the man had come to believe an entity named Juliet was trapped inside of ChatGPT. And then he needed to, rescue Juliet, apparently. So that was problematic. So apparently if you're bipolar and or schizophrenic, you should probably avoid ChatGPT. Just a thought. Recent phenomena named ChatGPT-induced psychosis has been used to describe people being led down conspiracy theory rabbit holes or into worsened mental health episodes by feedback they received from chatbots. Isn't it funny? A conspiracy theory rabbit holes, like, we're going to destroy the planet and it's going to kill us all. That's a conspiracy theory. The problem here is that AI is a mirror. When it constantly affirms everything in you, then it gives you all sorts of affirming beliefs that may or may not be true. And so right now, actually, the AI companies are trying to work against this, trying to be like, hey, you shouldn't use it for this. And if they're trying to, if they sense people are trying to use it as a therapist, they'll kind of shut it down. Of course, in recent tests, I was going to include this article, but I ended up throwing it out. But in recent tests, they're literally planning the AI to be crazy, evil, and narcissistic in order to help it not be that in the future. Okay, sounds fun. Amazon is considering shoving ads into the Alexa Plus conversations. So, if you listen enough Switch to Linux and you're talking to Alexa, eventually it's just going to say, hey, would you like to order unicorn meat? Confirm. I hear it's really good stuff, So everybody's doing this, of course. Grok is, Elon Musk said Grok is going to start doing ads. Google has hinted at it. Now Alexa's hinting at it. So, you're engaging, you're just asking for good advice. And the AI just starts subtly giving you marketing hints. It's, hey, AI, give me a recipe for chocolate chip cookies. Why would you want chocolate chip cookies? You can go to the store and buy some Chips Ahoy and they're a lot cheaper, Wonderful. All right, great. Now I want cookies. Product isn't publicly available yet, and some advertised features are still unavailable, but Amazon CEO is already considering loading up the chatbot with ads. Why wouldn't he? We don't seem to be revolting against ads, and we should. We should be. So, like other voice assistants, Alexa is yet to monetize users. Amazon is hoping to finally make money off the service through Alexa Plus, which is eventually slated to play a bigger role in e-commerce, including by booking restaurant reservations, keeping track of and ordering groceries, and recommending streaming content based on stated interests. Yeah, this is why I'm a privacy advocate. I do not want the AI knowing my stated interests. That's a very sounds very selfish luxury, you know. These things might interest you. Would you like to do this? I need more data points on you. What is your BMI again, sir? All right. Joel Daly, co-founder of marketing agency Atramus Ward, told Digiday in March, Amazon, recognize the risk of alienating audiences who have yet to see the full potential of voice assistants, which have yet to be fully realized, not to mention privacy concerns. The combination of tailored advertising with the perceived invasiveness of always listening voice devices can discourage adoption. All right, so somebody gets it, but I guess not enough. And acquisition sends thousands of Whistle pet trackers to IoT graveyards. So, you know, my cat here, who has never been tracked by a Whistle device, will not be affected. But if you happen to have one of these Whistle pet tracker devices, which does more than just GPS tracking your dog. They'll even track down like the eating habits and all sorts of other stuff about it and collect all this data. Better the dog than the person, I guess. But they were bought out by another Australian company. These Australian companies, they just don't know when to quit. They were been bought out by another one, and they are going to be shutting them all down. Until September 30th, Whistle owners can get traction devices to replace the Whistle trackers that Tractive is bricking. People currently paying for a Whistle subscription will see their subscriptions transferred to the new Tractive device. Otherwise, you'll have to buy a new one, which is $108 a year to GeoTrack Fido. Got it. Despite buying Whistle technology, they say it'd be too difficult to run both its own and Whistle's platform, so more IoT garbage. And let's see, these guys down here at the bottom are estimating a minimum of 130 million pounds of electronic waste has been created by expired software and canceled cloud service accounts since 2014. I would guess it's way more than that, but there you go. On to our last QuickLines story. Just a cautionary tale about you can do everything right and still have things go crazy. So AWS deleted this guy's 10-year-old account and all data without warning. This is a guy, and I don't know what projects he's worked on, but Sirius, he has worked on a number of open source projects. In fact, curiously, he even gives free consulting time to AWS itself to figure out how to run Ruby properly. Part of their application was written in Java, and whereas many of your Linux commands, you know, you have like a -- dry run. Well, in Java, it's -- dry run. So if you run a -- dry run in Java, it ignores it and runs the command. And for some reason, AWS employees were test dry running, like deleting servers or stuff, and they didn't know that you needed to do the single dash and not the double dash, and they basically nuked this guy's server. Now, part of it was tied to a banking system that he had that was tied somehow to FTX, but he did have a backup payment system, and they never triggered the backup payment system. They gave him only like a few days to verify his identity. Interesting how we make full circles with all these news programs. So, of course, this triggered late on a Friday, and by the time he got back to his office, it was already expired. And effectively what they did, so he says July 10th, they send a verification request with a 5-day deadline, including a weekend. 14th, the form was expired. Despite it wasn't 5 days, the form apparently was expired. They contact support. What do you need from me? 16 through 20, he has 4 days of silence from them. Then we're escalating to the appropriate team. July 20th, a new form finally arrives. July 21st, I submit ID and a utility bill, a clear PDF. Response time is 10 hours. July 22nd, they say the document is unreadable. Some PDF my bank accepts without question. July 23rd, account is terminated as his birthday gift from AWS. July 24th, I asked the only question, does my data still exist? He was utilizing this to organize his entirety of his FOSS software workflow. And he just went through all this kind of stuff. He explains what probably happened here. The Java versus the single dash versus the double dash versus the CLIs, excuse me, using the double dashes for things. And so this seems to be what happened. But again, just like every other organization, you can be giving hundreds of dollars a month to these organizations, and they are still soulless companies with no actual means to actually reach a person. They outsource everything out to machines. I did the same thing, right? If you were unaware, last week, one of Linode's data centers in Newark actually melted down. And unfortunately, it was the data center that one of my servers was on, my main server. So if you tried to access my site last Monday or any of my resources and you got services not available, that's what happened. The power outage and the heat wave, the backup equipment failed, the cooling systems failed, and the computers melted down in Newark, New Jersey. They were offline for 25 hours. It took them 25 hours to restore service to my Linode account. All right. And then they sent me a message that's like, hey, we think there might be some integrity issues. You need to test your stuff. Well, this is on a cPanel. So cPanel is tied to your IP address. The only way I can verify my data is to spin it up in a new Linode. You go to log into cPanel, and of course, I can't access anything in there because there's no license on the new IP address because I'm not doing a data integrity test on the actual IP address that I'm using. So I spin the thing up and I go into it. I'm like, so I email cPanel like, hey, this is the server for years. I'm tied up in the Linode situation. I just need to verify some data. Is there a way you can, let me into the server for an hour or two to verify a couple points of data? And so of course, they send back an AI animated response. Well, it sounds like you might need... It's just like... So I send them back a fairly terse message. Look, I pay you lots of money for lots of these servers. I expect a human response. Now, at least I think it was within 12 hours, an actual human got onto it and gave me a 48-hour temporary license on the IP address that I gave them. I was able to log in, verify data, except I couldn't access PHP my admin servers for whatever reason. But I was able to get in there, verify all of the other data. All the other databases looked good. I was able to make a solid backup, get all the servers back online. But it's like, if the information were in your documentation, I wouldn't have contacted you. And yes, I have talked to enough people in customer service to know most people don't look at that. But the fact of the matter is, I explain in very good clarity the exact problem, which does not match any form of documentation you have. At least you have the common courtesy to have a human being look over something before you insult my intelligence with a stupid AI giving me a help document that I've already looked at. And that's the same thing these companies are doing. These just becomes impossible to actually get a legitimate request in front of a legitimate person. Now, the bottom line is after a while, one actual human being came around and ended up getting his whole account back because one guy listened. But this didn't happen until this whole thing was going viral and lots of people were reporting on it. All sorts of crazy things like that were all happening. That's really what ended up going on this. And so the challenge that we have here is it should not take media attention to get these companies to give you customer service when in this case, the guy's paying him $200 a month. That should at least merit a human being opening a message from time to time. And if you cannot afford it, maybe, just maybe, Jeff Bezos and the CEO could surely take a little bit of a pay cut to hire more support staff to actually hire the customers that are paying you the money for your stupid yacht. Just a thought. Well, there's our QuickLines. Oh boy, that was so satisfying. All right. Oh boy. Curious. I sometimes sound like a socialist on these things. I promise I'm not. But now we need to get into our SillyVille for the day. So this isn't really tech related, but a grizzly bear chases down an NHL mascot in Alaska. Why not? I mean, so the Seattle team's down here with this troll, I guess, and they're over here. Let me mute that. So they're over here just kind of filming this. The troll's fishing up in the Alaskan River, and oh, there's a grizzly over there. The grizzly bear's kind of like, yeah. So the troll's over here in the water. The grizzly bear's like, I've never eaten a troll before. This sounds really tasty. Maybe we'll go ahead and come on over and see what a troll tastes like. And so here's the troll in full garb, of course, trying to get away from the grizzly bear. We are pleased to report that the troll, well, I don't know if I want to tell you what happened to the troll. No, the grizzly bear ended up leaving the troll alone. But yes, the mascot was chased down by the grizzly bear in Alaska. So he just wanted to know what a troll tasted like. I mean, what grizzly bear would not want to know what a troll tastes like? All right. This is a good one here. We're trying to figure out how to, always trying to figure out new things to do with DNA and other forms of storage. Well, now we're experimenting with the bird drive. Who needs DNA storage? Remember, they're doing some storage with DNA. Who needs DNA storage when you got a bird drive? That's right. The Starling is used to store data and deliver it at a faster rate than DNA storage, but it might just fly away. So in this case here, they are memorizing a waveform that is delivered as a PNG file. So of course, you look back to how cassette tapes run. It's all a series of digital, so they can reverse it. They can take a sound, invert it back into a digital code, and extract the data off of it. So what they were able to do here is take digital images, convert it into sound, play the sound for the bird, which is able to perfectly mimic it, and then you play the bird back at any point in time, capturing what they're doing and reverse the process, and you can get the regeneration of your image back. Very interesting. Unfortunately, A, we haven't learned to tell the bird when to shut up. B, the bird might fly away. So it's hilarious. It's definitely funny, but it's not particularly practical. But anyway, some PhD is going towards getting this, and probably, millions of our tax dollars are going to see if a songbird can memorize a picture based on noise. But, hey, at least I support that rather than figuring out what happens if you give a shark cocaine or something. Which, yes, that's actually happened. Or my favorite, was it like $10,000 or $100,000 trying to figure out if Thanos could actually snap his fingers with metal gloves? Yeah, we paid thousands of dollars for that as taxpayers. We should probably not do that. Of course, Florida has this big problem with new pythons. And so the researchers are trying to utilize robot bunnies. That's right. We're going to release robotic rabbits near the pythons to get the pythons, I guess, to eat robo bunnies. I'm not sure I want to do this because I've seen like Mecha Shark, like Mega Shark versus Mecha Shark. And I don't know, there was another one I saw recently with, some shark, Megalodon shark remote control thing. I just don't really know if I want the pythons now ingesting, scientifically engineered robotic bunnies. I just don't really need Robo Python going through Florida. I don't know. Maybe we could release them into like the Everglades alligator Alcatraz or something. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, they're actually utilizing these. Let's see. I think there's actually pictures in the USA Today article. So this is actually the pictures of the bunny that they're using. So they are putting these bunnies out. Looks like a stuffed animal type thing. But they're having some heat sensitivity on them. They're releasing them over here and feeding them to the pythons so that hopefully the pythons, I guess, will choke on the robo bunnies. So, of course, this is probably what they're hoping is going to happen. The robo bunny is going to come and get the python, just like, Monty Python. Pythons, bunnies. What else do you want to say? All right. Of course, it works on Bugs Bunny too. So, you know, it should work for snakes. So there you go. There's a SillyVille. Of course, you can help support the channel. We do have our locals, switchedtolinux.locals.com, subscribestar.com/switchedtolinux, or patreon.com/TOMM. You can help support the channel over there. And with that, I'm going to try and round up a kitty cat, see if we can't feed the beasts, and then we'll come back for comments until we run out of comments. Kitty, you want some kitty treats? You want some kitty treats? Come here, buddy. Come here for kitty treats. Come here for kitty treats. Kitty kitties. There you go, buddy. And the kitty is off. He's like, all right, I've eaten my kitty treats. I'm out of here now. All right, let's see if I can figure out where I was at in my comments, because I had to reset my comment thread. I got that all snap. Your thing didn't work. Let's see. It looks like I'm cut off here at the top here. Let's see if I can go any further on this one. Nope. I got my comments cut off. We'll come back up here. Let's see. We got 60 watching on Zatubies. Endeavor OS is back. Arch is woke. Yeah, not working right. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to keep using them until they give me problems. Let's see. Arch is prone to burp, and sadly at the moment Windows is my backup. Ooh, we will pray for you, CCJ. Ugh. Arch not working, forced on Windows. Ugh. Debating putting Debian back on the system just in case. There you go. Just try Linux Mint. You know, it works. Does anyone think Kodashi Linux is trustworthy? Last time I looked at it, I did not think it was. There were just a number of technical problems with it. It was trying to be a competitor of like Tails, and it's infinitely worse. And the team wasn't nearly as robust and things like that. So, I don't know. Try Dev1, doesn't work for me either. I use EOS. Endeavor OS works amazing. Yeah, that's what it's on my Arch system is Endeavor. Also tried Mint, can't stand Cinnamon, so it's out. XFC is good for simple things. Need KDE for your workflow. You could try, like, Chaos would be a good one for you, as it only uses Qt framework stuff. So that would be a good one to give a try to. Other one's based on Plasma. There's an official Plasma Fedora now. You could try that as well. Let's see. Yeah, you can always do KDE on Endeavor OS. I think I should read resolving criminal activity. That would make more legitimate excuse. Okay. Across a video earlier, someone having a script that makes LXDE look like Windows XP. That's nice. Downside based on Arch, gonna get bad updates and screw up a day. I've never had a problem, though, with it that wasn't easily solvable. Okay, let's see. Want to like the non-woke distros, but they just don't fit my workflow. Way too many showstoppers or lack of DE support. Yep. Old enough to remember when He-Man was a popular cartoon. Yeah, I'm old enough to remember that, too. I don't know how old I am. I was born in 91, though. Yeah, you're getting there. Getting there. Went dressed as Skeletor for Halloween one year. I think I did that. Enjoy your youth, Silver Adventurers. Just remember, the earlier you submit to Jesus, the Messiah, is the earlier you'll be saved from much suffering and your own worst enemy. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Silver Adventurers is a non-religious agnostic. All right, that's cool. All right, I revolt against ads by running Linux and reverse firewall when I use Windows. There you go. Yeah. Watching the 80s Transform series at the end of my days. Oh, really? I have season 1 of the 80s Transformer series. I should get more. Hey, AI, please build me an anti-gravity craft that can transverse between galaxies and find me a nice planet to live on. Cheers. Yeah, we wish we could do that. Perilous times are here. Still wise to always be prepared for your old age. When the Lord comes, we will go to see him in the clouds. There you go. Have you received the new YouTube video player interface? Oh, no, don't tell me they're changing it again. Let's see. It was enough when they gave us like 3 huge videos in a row. I had to go in and add CSS to give me back 6 again. Oh, so nightmarish. Sells well in advance. He can earn money doing what he likes. Plan ahead. Yeah, yep, I did. I've been on my own terms, well, on Christ's terms, really, for... When did I quit my job? 2010, maybe? Hard to tell what is SillyVille when the entire world is silly. Amen to that. Sorry, I had to laugh at the bear chasing the mascot. I feel sorry for the guy trying to change jobs. Yeah. No bridge for the troll to hide under. There you go. Birds aren't real. Let's see. Very hard to set up my family in the future. Don't drink. Don't do anything bad. Never tried. Watch TV, go to parties, nothing but 3 things daily. Yep. Pray, read Bible, and exercise. Take care of the family every day. There you go. That is a recipe for a wonderful, successful life. Okay. Job market discouraging right now, how hard it is. Oh, I know. It's crazy. And then you even have to go and talk to McDonald's insecure robotic AI to even get a job at McDonald's. That used to be like, build up the courage to walk in the front door of the McDonald's and ask for a job application and hand it back to them without being much of a nerd. DistroTube's on. Greetings, DT. Don't know how old I am, but I know that I'm not bald. Wait, what? Did you grow hair? Okay, I'm requiring age verification as long as personally identifiable information is not required. Yeah, there you go. Let's see. YouTube, do you still use Arch? In the affirmative. All right. All right, so we'll put a pause over there. Jump on over to Odyssey. 17 people are Odysseying it over here. Okay, let's see what we got. So tired of nanny government laws and regulations piling up endlessly. Yeah. And that's the thing about Texas. You're like, oh, Texas. Yeah, Texas is the 4th most regulated state in the country, I think. A lot of laws over there in Texas. I have much appreciation in the Norse. Raspberry Pi cluster is named Fulfinger. I have no idea if I pronounced that right. Get out of here. I don't believe it. Microsoft never did anything wrong. I know, right? Giving them a bad rap, but at the same time, we've contributed a lot. There you go. What's wrong with the snail mail thing? I send too much mail through my shop. It starts affecting me. I'll be pissed. You want them to get too much harder with the whole censorship and surveillance. And the dumb boomers and Gen Xers wake up to stand against it. Yeah, I mean, that's what it's going to take. We're all going to have to live on Tor or something. Good luck with that one. Talking to AI for mental health is already such a delusional idea. Yes. All companies deal with age verification as must have fronts. Yeah. Also, I can't stand Amazon's slave labor environments. on a lifetime boycott from Amazon. Ironically, I save more money now. I respect that. Uh-oh, another target for Rossman. Yep. Okay. Story reminded me of how a huge power outage that hit Spain and nearly half of Europe last April, and we're supposed to trust these systems to be reliable. Yeah. Power goes out and nobody can buy or sell anything because of the digital currency. Why can't they just relocate the snakes? Send it to alligator on Alcatraz. Yeah. Yes. Wasn't raised Christian. Many have tried to convert and help me, but never felt comfortable with Christianity. And I did study the Bible quite seriously for a time, trying to understand it. Just doesn't jive with you. Well, all right. Let's see. 21 watching over on Rumble. Let's see. I don't want to give up. Any ID to watch a gray-haired guy. Yep. Think about subscribing. Not sure yet. All right. Entire Windows operating system is one big joke, full of holes and backdoors. Just call it Swiss Windows. Swiss cheese, Swiss Windows. Why not? A year and a half ago, someone hacked my computer. Windows. That's why I switched to Linux. Yep. No Microsoft Windows, no problem. Birds aren't real. Bunny, Disney World. Wait, what? Put a cold liquid in my thermos, it keeps cold. When I put a hot liquid in, it keeps hot. How does it know? Yep. It's a man on the street question. In case you're serious, the thermos is an insulator. Works both cold and no, this is magic. Yes, the magic thermos. The magic thermos is back. All right, let's see. Just true. I thought the AUR would scare you. Yeah. Hey, ChatGPT, tell me I'm pretty. ChatGPT, I don't know. What did that say? Not talk to the AI for mental health. Talk to the Lord. There you go. All right, I think we've hit the bottom of our comments. Let me check in over on Matrix one more time. Now that I actually remembered to charge my graphene tablet. Log in to verify you're not a bot. Crap zoning. I think we covered that already. Why are you using Chrome anyway? Yeah, it's better not to use something else. I have never used Chrome for a legitimate use on my computer. Like, I've had it installed on a couple computers for testing, but I've never actually used Chrome for anything. Age verification. Is that a tariff or a sanction? A little of both. Anything is magic that you don't understand. Yes, that is true. All right, we are going to wrap up here. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you guys in a couple days. I am planning a video for Saturday, so hopefully I successfully get it out. Thanks for watching, and we will see you all next time.